Sorry if you hear any noises in the background of this video. My neighbors are undergoing some renovations, so they're being quite loud lately. Sorry. Hello everyone, and welcome to my first ever video. This wasn't really what I had planned for my first video. Honestly, I wanted this channel to be more focused on character design or redesigning, as it's always been something I've enjoyed. But unfortunately, I am an opinionated person who cannot keep their mouth shut. So, I will make some space for my rants as well in this channel. What was the thing that drove me to actually throw away my plans out of the window? Well, that was Fandom's latest way of discussing ships and the adjacent ship wars. So, without further ado, I'm Amit, or Just Trash, and today I shall talk my mind about ships. Disclaimer: no specific ships will be discussed in this video, as I want to avoid harassment from certain types of people, if you get what I mean. But if you wish to talk or mention any ships in the comments, feel free to do so. Just remember to be respectful about it and not harass any other people who may not ship the same thing or may say something you don't particularly agree with. The speed paints you'll see in this video will be two illustrations of two of my favorite ships, along with the speed paint of the thumbnail of this video. Now, with all of that established, let's start the video, shall we? Fandoms. Who hasn't experienced the joy of finding a community of people that are just as obsessed as them with a certain show, series, music group even? And of course, with fandom, ships have followed since, well, forever. This becoming often the backbone of it, forming with them the many waves of fan works such as fanfictions, fan arts, edits, even headcanons. We can say that ships oftentimes keep our fandoms alive. Now, for all of those that have somehow clicked on this video without knowing what ships are, although I find it weird that someone would click on this without knowing, but hey, not here to judge. The Urban Dictionary defines ships as a term one may use when they like the idea of two people being in a relationship. This term can be used on an actual couple or any two people someone might find they are good together. So in a nutshell, pairing two characters together because you think that they would make a good couple. Doesn't matter if it's canon or not. Once we understand this, I think it's also important to understand that first and foremost, shipping, and therefore ships, as I've already stated, have been around since forever. Something that lately people seem to have forgotten, seeing how the treatment to ships and therefore shippers has changed comparing to how it was when I was younger. When I was younger, God, I'm making myself feel old. What do I mean by that? Well, this is what I wanted to talk about today. Shipping, in my opinion, is nowadays a perfect window for harassment. Many times, if you post anything relating to a ship, especially if this one isn't part of the mainstream or a popular ship in the fandom, opening the comments is like going to an active war zone. People calling the OP and other enjoyers of the ships names, insulting them as if they had committed some sort of war crime or something by simply shipping something they don't. Obviously, this only makes the shippers defend themselves, oftentimes also becoming as violent as their harassers, making the two groups form some sort of symbiotic relationship where they can't exist without hating or harassing the other. Many times, shippers will make some video, some essay, something about how the others are the problem in the fandom, the others are like the worst, like this ship is horrible, my ship is better, like my ship's fandom is not toxic, theirs is, stuff like that. And let me make myself very clear for everyone who's a little bit confused about this or is actively defending themselves right now. This phenomenon happens both in LGBTQ plus ships and in straight ships. I know. Let's not pretend like one is more hated than the other. I've seen the internet. Of course, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that straight people and straight relationships are a minority. But the way some straight ships are handled by some, I repeat, some fans, Jesus Christ, the amount of, they're like family, they're like siblings, you can ship it, they see each other as family, I have heard, to discredit those ships, it's insane. It's tiring, it's genuinely tiring. But that's not all. I've also seen people claim that shipping straight ships, it's being homophobic or even misogynistic. Insane. I know. Like, how can you make those overarching claims acting like you have some sort of moral superiority because you ship something that's not quote-unquote straight, you ship something gay, and therefore you're more morally correct, and that the people who find some straight ship appealing are immoral. Whatever. It also happens that the straight ships that do pass to be mainstream or more liked by more queer spaces are often made gayer. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that a lot of people, not everyone, obviously, often over-feminize the men in this relationship who not always are all that feminine in the original source, and over-masculinize the women who, again, are not really all that masculine in the original source. They feel this need of not making it heteropatriarchal, I don't know the word exactly, but not making it exactly like you would expect a straight ship to do, not making the woman need the man be the one that needs the woman, but oftentimes that leads to complete mischaracterization and also making it like a ship cannot be good unless it breaks those patriarchal roles in which the woman has to be more feminine and the man more masculine, when oftentimes that's not even an issue. It just happens to be like that. The harassment some of these straight shippers face oftentimes ends with them hating the more queer ships because they see it like a personal attack to the straight ships or to that. So they believe that queer shippers are batshit insane sometimes. So this leads to rampant homophobia on their part when presented with other ships. Mind you, I'm not condoning that homophobia. I would never condone that. But it has to be understood that when you see someone reward queer ships, no matter what, and just call people homophobic or misogynistic by simply shipping straight ships, without being any of those things, they just like the dynamic or whatever, they will probably become what you're calling them. Now, I better not see anyone celebrate the fact that I'm on their side in the comments, because I'm not. I'm not in either side, and I'm in both sides at the same time. So let's keep going and speak about queer ships. Their main issue? Homophobia. That's it. I'm not gonna lie. Homophobia is rampant. You post anything with a queer ship, you have thousands of comments calling you a fetishist. That's not great. But that's an issue that, honestly, I could touch on, I could speak about. It's been spoken about No, I want to speak about issues and infighting in the community, because I do think that homophobia oftentimes comes from people that are not even part of the fandom. They're just really bitter and they just want to fuck everyone, I guess. Again, it also comes from straight shippers who feel like they have been wronged. I'm not going to pretend that some of those straight shippers are not homophobic. That would be completely wrong of me. But yeah, I could touch on this subject. I could try to psychoanalyze why people are homophobic. It wouldn't get me nowhere. So let's keep going and start talking about the infighting, which in my opinion is worse. Yeah, it's just worse. Homophobes will be homophobes. That's something that's harder to change, and that's that. There's no secret. They just hate the ship because it's gay, and that's it. On the other hand, the infighting, it's harder to explain and even comprehend for me. This infighting consists of the struggle between more popular ships and so-called rappers oftentimes. It does happen between popular and popular ships, but it's not that common. Some shippers feel like their ship has to be justified. It has to be there, meaning that they cannot fathom something that doesn't have enough screen time or interactions for them to justify it, or it's not the most popular one, or they don't have the palpable chemistry on screen, whatever. So they see it fit to harass and lie about shippers and ships that are not popular, mainstream, or all that quote-unquote justified. Complete bullshit, if you ask me. I guess they do this to drive the ships out of the internet or something. I don't know what they want to achieve with this. It's weird for me. God knows. But, once again, they use arguments like, they're like family, they're like brothers, you can ship them, they love each other platonically, not romantically, blah blah blah. In my experience, it also happens that queer ships get away with much more quote-unquote problematic stuff or quote-unquote abusive dynamics. If a straight ship isn't 100% healthy, you are problematic for shipping it. But at the same time, it doesn't matter if the boy love you're reading has violent and rapey dynamics. They are so cute together. Things like that will be obviously thrown to it. And don't get me started with the erasure of the girl love genre. Lesbian love stories are often brushed off to the side in favor of gay couples. I do love shipping, and this is in no way anything against it or anyone that does. But god damn it, some of you make it so exhausting. I can't go to the comments of one of my favorite ship edits, videos, or whatever without getting an absurd amount of people hating it in it, harassing the OP and everyone else who likes it. Oftentimes, I go to those comments and I find myself just exiting the whole thing. I don't even want to look at comments at this point. I don't see people being like, oh yeah, this is so cute. No, I find people speaking about any other ship like, yeah, this is better. No, I don't ship this, but this is so cute. How can people ship this other thing when this exists? Why are we bringing other ships to this? Why? It's no wonder others have this idea about shippers being not only toxic, but insufferable, and the reasons fandoms are ruined. Oh, you thought that this was all? No. I haven't even talked about pro-shippers, anti-shippers, dark shippers, and any of do topics on that, because that is a whole nother can of worms that needs their very own time to dissect. After all, morality and issues like that cannot be discussed in a black and white way. Nuance is important in these topics. A nuance that the internet so severely lacks. Seeing as this part has also some terms that might be new or unfamiliar for some viewers, I'll start with the definitions of this. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you. Pro-shipping. Originally used to refer to someone who was all for shipping any character with any character, regardless of anything. Nowadays, because of a shift in language and what I believe to be a basic misunderstanding of what the word meant, it's used to refer to people that ship and romanticize problematic ships, such as those that contain abused child minors with adult or even incest. An anti-ship. As the name suggests, these people are against shipping. The reasons may vary, though once again, this term has been coined by the movement that goes against pro-shipper, erasing the meaning of the original word. Dark shippers. Here's where even I get a little bit lost, so correct me if I'm wrong, really, and don't feel free to tell me in the comments. But from my understanding, dark shippers share similar qualities with pro-shippers, in the sense that they like to ship abusive, incestuous, or even child-adult relationships, except for the fact that they do not romanticize them, nor erase the problematic stuff. They simply enjoy the complexities and darker tones of the ships along with their dynamics. And I know what many of you are saying by now. I can even hear it. How on earth is this a complex topic, Amit? Pro-shippers are bad and antis are right. And well, dark shippers are just weirdos that should be lumped with the pro-shippers. Well, no. I wish it was as simple as that, really. But once again, we're playing with morality, morals, and stuff here. It's a bit more nuanced. So let's start with that. First, let's start with the insanely blurry lines between pro-shipping and dark shipping. Because who dictates what's romanticization, and to what point is it valid to ship supposedly problematic ships? Is it really okay to post and ship adult minor dynamics just because you like the more darker, the more difficult topics and like to preach them, speak about them? Is it okay? Should you really ship those, or are you exempted because you don't romanticize them? And what is romanticization inherently? Honestly, I know what romanticization is in paper, what is it? Does someone who simply explored the dynamics romanticize the ship? To what point is it romanticization? When does it stop being romanticization? Can you honestly tell me? You would be able to tell? And is it really right to harass pro-shipper? Is it okay to send death threats, bully them, in the name of morality? No, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with them. I honestly find them a little bit disgusting. Those ships are very uncomfortable and honestly quite wrong. But how can you correctly police them without creating a bigger issue? Can you look at me in the eye and tell me that harassing these people because of what they ship online is okay. A lot of them are minors. Many are not. Many are just old weirdos. But we don't know who's behind the screen, and we don't know how this is going to affect them. One of the bigger issues that has already started happening is the misuse of the pro-ship word. For example, I've already told you all that the original meaning was nowhere near what we nowadays use. Some people, usually antis, though I have seen many other types of people do it, will use the word pro-ship to describe any relationship they don't like, simply because there's a considerable age gap, even though both characters involved are grown adults. Same happens when they decide that a bond that is not stated to be familiar is a familiar relationship. They are no siblings, they are no family. Therefore, it's a pro-ship to ship them, even though, canonically, it's not stated to be. A lot of antis talk about censorship and prohibiting pro-shipper content. But that, once again, it's a flawed solution. Because I've already stated many perfectly fine ships are already called pro-ships. And there would be no way of knowing where to draw the line if things just started getting out of hand. When do we stop the censorship? Who dictates what has to be censored and what doesn't have to be censored? Is it okay to censor anything at all? I have to say that I do believe that the biggest problem in fandom and shipping has been the rise of purity culture and the over-exaggeration of things like pro-ships. Oh well. Please tell me in the comments what you think about any of the topics I touched upon today. Feel free to tell me your opinions, if you believe I was right or wrong, and if you want me to make more videos like this, or if you just feel like you like my art or are interested in me, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye! Today I shall take it says talk. What the fuck did I read take? They are just fuck meant for certain people from as I've already stated to start this as of who's what eh? I think it's important to understand that first of all, shipping, as I've already stated, shipping, and therefore ships have been around since forever. Who wrote this? Well, I did, but what? Who? And prohibiting